What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Chronic Confusion is back, and we just saw a movie. Did we not?
Yeah. I wonder what movie it was.
We just saw some little movie called Rogue One. What's the official title? Rogue One, a Star Wars story?
Yep.
Okay, I thought I had that wrong. So yeah, we just saw Rogue One, and we're going to tell you about it, and we are probably going to spoil the fuck out of it. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, you might want to move on somewhere. But before we get started...
I feel like it was spoiled in the 70s when A New Hope came out, though.
I mean, yeah, I was going to get to that. But before we get started, I just want to say, be sure you go check out dubcast.tv. And even more important than that, check out dubslist.com, dubzlist.com. Go there and click through some links, buy some stuff from Amazon or any of our affiliate sites so we can get some new equipment and start doing some more videos, some better videos, some other ideas we have. So go check it out. We got a new logo on the screen. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with it. I might tweak it a little bit. But I'm going to try to rebrand the podcast, Cody. Try to get away from the marijuana.
Oh, man, it's like all we ever talk about, though.
No, we'll still talk about it.
I mean, every episode, it's an hour of that and then 10 minutes of, what?
Yeah, we'll still talk about it. It's still the basis of the show, just not in the logo anymore. Let's see, what else?
That makes us kid-friendly.
Yes, we're kid-friendly now. We're fun for the whole entire family.
Fuck kids.
Ladies and gentlemen. Don't fuck kids.
No, not like that. Not like that. Not
Cody,
like that.
Please don't fuck kids.
Figuratively.
Man. Okay. Yeah, fuck kids in your mind.
No, not even that. Not even that. We don't even want you thinking about it.
Yeah, this is, Disney's not going to like this one. Let's see here. Anything else we need to get to before we get to this? I can't think of anything. It's been a couple weeks since we podcasted, since we last casted the pod.
The pod of casting.
Nothing really exciting has happened. I've been working a lot on the websites. Like I said, be sure you go check them shits out. That's about it. So let's talk about this movie. Cody, how'd you feel about it?
I liked it a lot. It was pretty good. And it felt like a war movie. Especially in the last half of it.
Yeah, it was like Saving Private Ryan in space.
A little bit.
Kinda. But
not that gory.
No, not nearly. I don't know, there for the last minute, maybe.
Yeah.
But no, I was gonna say, it is kind of funny to me how we'll go see these movies, and we know exactly how it what it all comes to. You know what I'm saying? It's so obvious. It's yeah, of course we're building up to A New Hope, and there's little things within the movie that are kind of hey, remember this thing that happens? This is how this thing happened. So I was really happy that they kind of explained how the design flaw was in the Death Star.
Yeah,
because that was something they never really talked about. It was just there.
And it was put there on purpose.
Yeah, well, how could this empire? How could this these dastardly devilish dudes, that run this empire, be so smart to come up with this Death Star that can take out a whole planet, and they're so perfectionist at everything, yet they had this one little flaw in the plans that just fucks it all. Oh. And that was a big controversy for years. That's such a stupid thing. Well, now you know.
Now we know it was put there on purpose. For the only reason to destroy it. Yeah,
so the lead character's father was the guy who designed he didn't design the whole Death Star, he just kind of designed the weapon, right?
They didn't really explain
They didn't really
go into that part. But what I did because there are some people who, after the trailer came out and you saw the disc of the actual weapon parts of the Death Star being put in, people were like, well, they've already ruined the movie because enough. Revenge of the Sith, that was already installed when we looked at it. So, and they explained that after numerous failed tests, they're still working on it.
Well, but it's still funny that anybody'd say they ruined it because, like you said, we know what's coming. Really, this movie is all about filling in gaps that were in the story. Like, not necessarily plot holes, but just little things that people are always like, you know what? Because like I've said before, we were talking about this a while back. Like, I always thought it'd be cool to actually see the process of them getting the Death Star plans. Because, you pick up in A New Hope, and it's like, I have these plans. Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on this one, like, oh my God. Like, that ending.
Well,
fuck, dude.
Well, I mean, even just like seeing the trailer right now.
Yeah.
So many things from the trailer were cut. Like the scene with the TIE fighter pulling up on Jyn, that's cut. That wasn't in there. They changed that ending. The scene with Vader standing in front of the cool screen, that was cut. They might have only filmed that for the trailer though, since they couldn't really show too much of his shit in the movie.
Yeah, there was a lot of surprises.
5 minutes of screen time.
I'll say that's one thing like that Disney has done really well at this point, especially with these Star Wars movies, is not giving away too much. Because I really went into this not knowing. Like, of course, I know what they're building to.
Yeah.
Like, I know what the overall plot of the movie is. But like, there were so many things that happened, and it was like, man, like fucking Tarkin.
Yeah.
Dude, are you serious? Now look, I heard the guys from Cinemassacre say they didn't think it looked that good. He looked like a real fucking person to me, dude.
I mean, I could tell.
It wasn't real. Yeah.
But the thing is that me personally, I really like the way that they made him look. I like the way that they made Leia look.
Dude, Leia blew. Well, I will say one thing about Leia. I don't know if the whole body is CG. But if they had like a body double and they just redid the face, which is what they do sometimes in those types of situations, whoever that chick is had a fatter ass than Leia. That chick's ass was like, pow! Because like that's what you see whenever it fucking opens, the doors open and she's got her back turned.
Yeah.
And all you see is that ass, man. And I'm like, she had a nice ass, but it wasn't like, pow!
They might have digitally enhanced
I think if they didn't have a body double, I think they digitally enhanced that ass.
Well, because, I mean, like, I like the way that Tarkin looked in this more than I liked the 5 seconds that the guy looked like in Revenge of the Sith. Because the way that they did it in Revenge of the Sith was they kept it purposefully far away and did a little bit of makeup to make him look closer to Peter Cushing. Well, Peter Cushing's been dead for a long fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if they wanted to use Tarkin, and clearly they did, and they did a good job of it, they went the best way of doing it.
They used a lot more of him than I thought they would in that situation.
He was in this movie more than he's in A New Hope.
Yeah.
By far.
Well, it's crazy but then whenever I got to thinking about that on the way home, I was like, man, if they could have had him in the movie that much, why not just have Leia there? Like, more than just the last little bit of the movie. Like, I get it. Like probably don't want to overdo it.
That would have probably taken more from the story, though, because it wasn't about her.
Yeah.
It was about the struggle between...
But I mean, originally, if I'm not mistaken, she was in on that mission, wasn't she? Like, she was there with them getting the planes, like in the original lore.
Oh no, I don't think she says that.
I thought that she was. I thought she was kind of like there.
No,
obtaining the plans with them.
I don't think that, because she's still a senator.
Yeah,
I don't think that she would be there. But I mean, now I guess we need to rewatch A New Hope to cherry pick it.
Yeah, probably. But man, like, and there were so many like little nods. Like the first one that really got me was the guys from the cantina.
Yep. Now, but
my friend doesn't like you. I don't like you.
That
either.
was the worst one that they did, though.
Yeah, they
as far as making them look.
Yeah, they didn't look like the characters, but you knew who they were.
Yeah, you knew who it was. But like the guy with the messed up pig nose face was a little bit too skinny.
Yeah, he was too skinny, and the other guy was like too short.
Yeah,
and his face was too big.
But that being said, I don't know if you caught this. Red Leader was Red Leader from A New Hope.
Yeah,
100%.
I caught that. There was also a Wampa walking around at one point I saw.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of stuff, man. I love the new droid.
Yeah, K2SO was awesome.
It was fucking hilarious, dude. He was definitely the comedy, the comic relief in the film.
He said, "I'm behind you too." Cassian said I had to be.
Exactly. And she shot that one that looks just like him.
Did you know that wasn't me? It was good, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. Unfortunately, I haven't been feeling the best today, and I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so I fell asleep like an hour into the movie, and I woke up like right at the end when Darth Vader's like, "Let's get on this motherfucker." He says, "Let's have a boarding party," or something like that.
Did you see?
I caught when he first showed up.
Then?
Huh?
Did you see anybody die then?
Oh, I caught whenever he fucking slayed everybody.
Well, yeah. But I mean, like, did you see any of the characters from the story die besides Jin and Cassian at that point then?
No, I don't think so. Who died?
Everybody.
Oh.
Everybody died. Spoilers. Like, I mean, if you couldn't get that.
Hey, we've already warned them.
I mean, if you couldn't get that from the fact that, like, none of these fuckers are in any other movie.
Well, I mean, yeah. But
I mean, yeah. Everybody died.
I definitely caught them. But yeah, I didn't. I caught. I think the last thing I might remember is Darth Vader's first scene. And there was like a few things here and there in between that and the very end. Like I would wake up every once in a while. I think I might have been snoring.
I didn't hear you.
Okay, because I kept waking up, and usually when I do that, I'm snoring. But yeah, it was good. From what I'm probably gonna go see it again, like Sunday or something, like during the day, where it's cheap,
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know, it was good, man. From what I saw of it, and dude, like I was really the end scene with Darth Vader is what I was really there for, honestly.
And it was awesome.
I mean, the whole movie was awesome, but dude, just to see Darth Vader just go buck wild like that.
Oh yeah.
And one thing I will say about Darth Vader, though, you can kind of hear James Earl Jones is getting up there in age in the voice.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't feel like they put as many effects on it as they could have. Like, it sounded a lot cleaner than I remember it sounding. I don't know. It didn't sound like exactly like Vader to me.
Yeah. Some of the lines didn't have the
that could have been it too. It could have been.
I don't think some of the lines had the delivery.
Yeah, exactly. That could have been it too. Yeah. Shit, man. You got anything else to say about it?
Yeah, everybody died.
Everybody dies.
Literally,
okay.
Literally. If they introduced a character into this movie, they died.
I'll say my favorite character was probably the blind dude.
Oh, he died.
The Chinese. Everybody.
No, his death was a little sad though.
Was it?
Yeah, because all right, so like the pilot, like Bodhi Rook, the pilot, the Imperial defector, was all like, I gotta connect to this fucking thing to send a message out. And they're like, well, how do you do that? He's like, well, you guys gotta find a switch. And they're like, okay. So like, he gets it all connected. And he's like, I need you guys to find this switch. And they're pinned down, and they're like, the switch is over here. And so the blind guy's all like, yeah, fuck it. I'm one with the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force. And he walks all the way over to it without getting killed.
Yeah.
And he pushes the thing, and then he turns around, and someone just blows up the whole thing that he just pushed. And
oh, shit.
And then the other Chinese guy comes out, and he's like, no, my buddy. And then he dies. And then K2SO dies, and then everyone else is dead. Dude, when they killed the pilot, though, it was fucking awesome. Literally, he just sends out the transmission. He's like, hey, you guys need to take out this shield so we can send you more transmissions. And they're like, cool. And then grenade, and he just looks at it.
I do remember one thing that I woke up for a minute, and it was this one part where they kept redirecting the Imperial forces. They were like, we're at this station and we need help. And then they would the rebels were doing it.
Yeah.
But they were tricking the Imperials like, we're at this one and we're at this one and we need help. And they kept coming on, like redirecting them and shit. I was like, that's like some fucking Wile E. Coyote shit.
Before we actually went in, my buddy Jordan was like, so, how about if the movie ends like this? They capture all the main characters and put them, in a prison cell on the Death Star, but, then the rebels just leave them and blow it up.
Like they don't bother rescuing them?
Yeah, it's like, Leia's the important one. Leave these other fucks here.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I like the way they ended it.
Yeah, everyone had to die. Well,
I mean,
I thought
had to, yeah.
There are a lot of cool callbacks, a lot of cool things going on, like Bail Organa, like when the last time we see him, he's stepping out of the room.
Shit.
And he says,
sorry.
He's stepping out of the little war room briefing after they've had their big meeting over the Death Star. And like as the door's closing, he goes, Captain Antilles, I've got a mission for you. So I thought that was cool. I felt like they shoehorned in R2D2 and C3PO.
That was but it was such a small part though. Like I do remember seeing that. It was such a small thing that it didn't bother me.
Well, but
it was like so quick.
At first, I was like, man, this is stupid. Like, why are they doing it? But then, as I kept thinking about it,
they were there.
It made sense because they said, we're going to Scarif. Why are we the last ones to know anything?
Yep.
So that puts them on the ship.
Yep.
So that made sense.
They were there.
But I think my favorite part, it was also right after their big meeting about the Death Star. And most people probably won't even fucking get it because it's just something that's said in the background over a PA. But they say, General Syndulla, come to the war room. And General Syndulla is a character from both, well, it's either her father or Hera from Clone Wars. So it's either, Hera from Rebels.
Yeah.
So it's one of those two, and I would assume it's Hera. But to me, that's pretty cool because it's showing that Rebels will lead almost directly into A New Hope, which is cool too. So,
I mean, shit, this movie led directly into it.
Directly,
dude. They didn't put any gaps in there at all, which is pretty awesome. Like, I mean, I thought it was cool. I can't wait to see it again. To see the shit that I missed. But man, like, people are all like, oh, they're reshoots and shit like this, and I don't think people have understood yet that every movie does reshoots.
Yep.
Like, I don't understand why people get so up in arms about that stuff. I do wish there would have been more Darth Vader, but I kind of understand they wanted to make its own kind of thing.
I loved that they showed his castle for the first time on screen.
Yeah, that shit was
awesome.
Badass.
Like, I was like, what? Why are they here? What's
dude, and that
planet?
tank he was in, like, what was he, floating in formaldehyde or something?
Back to tank, man. Like the same shit that they put Luke in Empire.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot
but I
that.
mean, if you notice, like, this was like something that was really cool. He wasn't wearing any of his limbs in that back to tank. It was just him. So, like, that's something that they've that's been theorized that, like, every time he gets a new set of limbs, it takes him a while to get him adjusted and calibrated for fighting, which is why he was so kind of stiff and rigid at the end of this movie and in A New Hope.
Well, the lore I've always heard is that the Emperor purposely made his, like, body clunky like that so that he would have less of a chance of overthrowing him.
Yeah, but
like he was less of a threat because he could
by the time that
faster.
we get to Return of the Jedi, he's actually doing fluid combat.
Oh yeah, I mean he gets adjusted to it, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. But originally the reason he made his suit and his limbs so clunky like that was because it would give him an advantage if he ever turned on him, something like that. So yeah, definitely would recommend. I will be seeing at least 1 or 2 more times in theater.
Yeah, go see it.
Everybody should go see it, especially if, I think especially if you didn't like Force Awakens for whatever fucking reason, you'll probably like this. Because it's it's not a completely new story. We know what happens, but everything leading up to it is completely new.
No, I'm gonna say, like, I haven't really watched the new season of South Park, but I do understand that they have gone about saying that The Force Awakens is, like, the worst movie ever made.
They haven't said that.
They said it was bad.
Yeah, they just said it's not as good as everybody says it is. Their whole line there is that everybody's kind of up on nostalgia, and.
Well, I mean, it's not nostalgia to me. It's a brand new fucking movie.
All right, so speaking of people, we got some more Rogue One to talk here. Now, I like Gavin McGinnis.
I do too, and I purposefully did not watch this video, so making me watch it.
I already did a video about this, but I didn't post it yet because I'm like, fuck it, we'll just talk about it on the podcast. But so I've got like a solo thing of this that I've already done, but I figured we'd watch it here since I haven't put it up yet.
Like, I purposefully avoided this video by him.
Well, I'm going to torch you then. I mean, dude, this is probably the dumbest shit he's ever done, and I think it's going to bite him in his ass, honestly.
Oh, hi, it's you guys. Have you noticed that progressivism is ruining entertainment?
Yes, I have. Have you, Cody?
Yeah, like Ghostbusters?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly like Ghostbusters.
Yeah. And diversity has to be in everything. I know this has been around for a long time, and it's very obvious in commercials. Everyone has to be mixed race and stuff. And look, I have a pink phone. I have a visible minority family. I get it. It exists. Yes. But even if I was a progressivist liberal, I would go, can you stop cramming my own agenda, cramming homework into all of my entertainment? You're ruining it, like that show Black Mirror on Netflix. awesome show, unbelievably well written, shocking. You know, they say Christopher Hitchens was freakishly good at debating. This show is freakishly well written, but everyone has to be black, and we need to have a perfect pizza pie of genders and preferences in every episode. It's distracting and it's boring. And I noticed this when I was watching Star Wars. Now, I'm an adult, and I don't think it's normal that adults care a lot about Star Wars.
A boot.
Fuck you.
By the way.
Fuck
now,
you, Canuck.
here's my line. I'm gonna like, try to keep a level head. It is normal for adults to like Star Wars, and I'll tell you why. Because people tend to hold on to the things they grew up with. Case in point, I guarantee there's shows from this guy's youth or whatever. I mean, he's not even much older than us. But, you know, I'm sure there's, like, certain things from his past, from his youth that he holds on to that he's like, oh, yeah, I'll still watch that. Like my
hockey.
dad. Yeah. Well, like my dad, like, he was a big fan of, like the $6 Million Man and, like, the 60s Batman TV show. And he still watched him, like, well into his fucking 40s and 50s. You know, like, fucking, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just
the
entertainment.
reason why TV Land is a channel.
Exactly, dude. It's just entertainment. And people that get worked up over shit like that are like, oh, I'm an adult. I don't like, dude. You're cheating yourself out of entertainment. That's all you're doing. If you don't like it, don't like it. But don't make excuses for the reasons you don't like it. Oh, because I'm an adult. Like, no, you're just a dick.
Gavin.
Sorry, guys. Don't freak out. Don't threaten to kill me.
We already did it.
But
We
I
already
have
did
kids.
it.
And I'm watching it going, you have this cool chick in it, and she's got her lightsaber, and you go, chicks don't do that. You just ruin the movie. And by the way, you're bad at your own agenda. That black guy you made, the stormtrooper dude, you made him to be such a sweetheart that he has no personality. He's just like this empty Don Cheadle robot who's just anyone's dog for a bone. Hi, what's that? I don't exist. I'm basically the dog from Battlestar Galactica.
Okay, now, the fucked up thing about this is, like, you're talking about a made-up universe. You're not talking about a movie that's based in Compton, California, or Detroit, Michigan. You know, like who's to say
you mean
that
like 8 Mile and the other Public Enemy, whatever
exactly,
that one was called?
You're not talking about these fucking movies that are based in our world. You're talking about movies about aliens and people from other planets and galaxies, and who's to say that, like, what are you gonna find a fucking black guy in the Star Wars galaxy that's all, what up, my nigga? You know, and shit like that. No, like you're not, and you might find a woman that can beat the shit out of some dudes.
If we were going to have that black guy, it would have been Sam Jackson.
Yeah,
Like
and
the only role that he hasn't said a cuss word in.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even say what the hell.
It's just a dumb thing, and I think at this point, like, this video here shows me that people like Gavin, and I love him to death, and they are so, like, I have to make videos about, like, this type of stuff. So
and he was just cherry picking.
Yeah, so let's just go
Star
after
Wars
something
was
obvious.
coming out.
It's
Yeah.
coming out, like, this was put up last week, so it's like people will be searching Star Wars and people be wanting Star Wars content. So let me do it, but I have to do it in my own frame. You know, I have to do it from the
He has to find
non-PC.
something to be mad about it.
Yeah, you know, like, which I'm cool. I don't like PC shit either, and I think we should point it out, but...
Like, Gavin's not doing anything right now that he doesn't do in every other video.
Yeah.
Which is, like, make his points in a comedic way. Mm-hmm. It's just that this time, I want him to shut the fuck up.
Well, and too, like, this time he's making his points, but it's obvious, like, I don't feel like he believes his points even.
Well, like,
in this one.
he said, there's a chick wielding a lightsaber, that doesn't happen. All right, like,
again, it could happen even in our world, but why wouldn't it happen in a science fiction universe? If you really want to believe the narrative, like, look, yes, men and women are different biologically. There's no arguing that. Most men, by design, are stronger and bigger than women. These days, there's a lot of girly men out there, so I don't say that definitively.
And a lot of manly women.
But from his point of view, he thinks that women should never be like that. Like, they don't want to be like that. Even the ones that are don't want to be like that for whatever reason. But let's just say, from that point of view, couldn't there be a sci-fi universe where they are like that? You know, well, so why bitch about that?
Do you remember how mad people got it, like, maybe almost a year ago? Like, because it was after the release of the movie, but people were so mad that Rey was not featured so hard on like the promotional stuff and why she didn't have the lightsaber, why did Finn have it? And it's like, because that was the big reveal of the movie.
Exactly, that was the surprise.
That was it. That was the big reveal. And like, you guys want to.
Well, then too, they kind of pulled a bait and switch too. They wanted you to be like, oh, is Finn the Jedi or is it Rey? You know?
Yeah. Well, and like, so the comment about a girl not wielding a lightsaber is just kind of stupid, and he's only making that.
Now, I will agree that it like, I mean, the people at Disney are obvious cucks. You know, they're obvious fucking
feminists. Well, they said
feminists.
that they want to diversify it.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're obviously doing it on purpose.
But it doesn't.
But it doesn't
feel
hurt.
it.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt the
right.
Like the thing about like Rogue One and Force Awakens. They might have a feminist agenda behind them. The writers might themselves be feminist, but it doesn't come off that way. Like unlike Ghostbusters, that is all about like girl power and shit like that, and putting it in your face that girls can do anything, and you know all this shit. It's like, cool, I agree they can, but don't force it in my fucking face.
Same thing with Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I watched that movie, never saw a bit of feminist ideology in it. I saw it as a great movie with strong characters in both sexes.
So again, I feel like, you know, if it was like an obvious like girl power. Blah 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 in your face, but again, it's a sci-fi universe. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
I think the simplest way, like, to really put it out is like, if the story is written well,
exactly,
and the characters are written well, it doesn't matter who plays them.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, if they can act, that matters.
Yeah.
But his stupid quip, I can fix his quip about Finn right now. He was programmed from the day he was captured as a small child, bred to be a conform, do what you do.
Yeah, but he always felt like what he was conforming to wasn't right.
Yep.
And that's why he eventually snapped and was like, I can't do this. You know, on his first mission.
I mean, yeah, he's a nice guy, but he's also, you know, a liar.
Yeah,
I'm part of the rebellion.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm with the resistance. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go on.
And then now the new one is coming out, and they're going to ruin that too. Let me explain something to you about the vast majority of humans. Boys, and not even all boys.
But we're not talking about humans here. That's the problem. We're talking about a sci-fi universe. We're talking about fiction, Gavin.
What I think he's making that point of is like right there, without hearing the rest of his thought, is he's thinking boys are more prone to go see Star Wars than girls are.
I mean, yeah. Let's go on.
But let's say a good 72% of boys have fantasies about going pew, 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 pew. Wimp boys don't. And as far as girls go, maybe 5%, maybe the tomboys. It's very rare. They usually end up being lesbians.
I mean, look, he's probably right to some extent on that. I think the number's a little larger these days.
I saw a couple of hot chicks wearing Star Wars shirts at the theater tonight.
They have fantasies about that. But now, because we have to ram this diversity down everyone's throat, it's all about chicks, and it's all about A&T male, and even if you do agree with that, why are...
There was nothing anti-male about this or Force Awakens.
No.
You know, I mean, the main protagonist is a female, but the male characters are just as fucking heroic.
Yeah,
and just as prominent.
And it doesn't bother me that the main protagonists in both movies were females.
I mean, yeah, who cares? It's written well. That's the thing.
Are you ruining science fiction with it? I just read the other day, what did it say? That one of the writers, he said, please note, he's Miles McInnes, basically. Please note that the Empire is a white supremacist.
That shit does piss me off.
Well, but that's also kind of true.
Well, but fuck white supremacists, because it's another fucking universe.
Supremacists,
yeah,
it's
another fucking universe. Like, the concept of white supremacist does not fucking exist. Like, you can't call it that. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, everything these days, if it's about white people, is white supremacists, and that shit pisses me off. And it's not even specifically about white people. You know, you got fucking Darth Vader, who is James Earl Jones. You know, I mean, he's still a white dude.
Played by a white guy, voiced by a black guy. Like,
his suit's black. Come on.
His suit's black. Well, but I mean, no, that maybe not white supremacists, but they are definitely in the lore. They hate aliens, and there's been only a very few select instances where an alien.
I don't even know if they hate really aliens. They just want to rule the galaxy, man.
That's what it's all about. They totally like. Part of their thing is that humans are above aliens.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, their biggest goal isn't like, you know,
their biggest goal is put everything underneath my thumb and hold it.
Exactly.
then he puts in brackets human. If you are a white supremacist and you're not a human, it's not racist because you're not a human.
True.
Like, no one cares about white robots being white supremacists or white lizards. So you don't have to add human, you fucking moron. But yeah, it's a white supremacist human organization. And then another guy adds that. This is the other writer for Rogue One. The first guy was Chris Weitz, and the other guy's Gary Whitta. He goes, opposed by multicultural. I can't even do it without laughing. These guys are being super serious about their super awesome new Star Wars. Opposed by a multicultural group led by brave women.
I'll tell you, there were 3 women that I saw in that movie. Leia, Jyn, Mothma. Everybody else had a dick between their legs.
Yep.
Ooh, I'm scared.
They were
Stop trying to scare.
I mean, like 2 of those girls were the most powerful, though.
Yeah, but I mean,
But I mean, I don't,
For me, I'm not scared of that. I just go, that doesn't happen. It's like Nick DiPaolo says, I can't watch.
I don't know if you're meant to be scared of them. You're meant to be scared of their forces. Like not us specifically, but the Empire. I think that's the point. Is like the rebellion's this huge force at this point in time. Not as big as the Empire, but they're strong.
Yeah, they're growing,
and they hit them where it counts. So yeah, I don't know.
Movies anymore. I can't. My suspension of disbelief can't handle Angelina Jolie beating up 6 green berets. But okay, check out this commercial. Let's show the Nissan one. This is, how your mom is always fantasizing when she's driving about being shot at by spaceships because women love science fiction so much. You checked off the box of Nissan. You checked off the box of the movie. You checked off the box.
Fucking Canadian motherfucker. Here's what I said about this in my video, and I'll say it again here. So I don't know if I'll release the video or not. I might as well not, since we're doing this. But this commercial isn't made for moms. It's not made for women. This commercial is made for kids. So they see it and they're like, hey, Mom, you got to get this car. Look at this shit.
It's called Rogue. If we buy it, we'll be in Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. That's kids see this commercial and they're like, oh, my God, Star Wars. Mom, look at this shit. It's so cool. You could be driving around fighting stormtroopers.
It's a diversity. Great. You fit all 3 into this commercial. You forgot plausibility. No women have this fantasy.
Some do.
Yeah.
Simulation initiated.
Please, initiate simulation. Ooh, I better move. Sure.
See, man, a kid sees this commercial and, it's, over.
Yep.
Like, that, Mom, you have to get this car. Now, whether or not that works on a parent or not, I mean, I guess a parent has money, maybe, but...
Or the rich nerd.
Exactly. Yeah, or the rich nerd, yeah.
Okay, fine, I'll buy this car.
And again, in that point, it doesn't matter that it's a woman driving the car. It's just, it's just the car.
Right.
Watch out for the big thing with the feet. It's gonna get you, Mom. Stop! A droid that's valuable might be crossing the street.
Take on any galaxy with a car that could stop for you.
Simulation complete.
Honey, I did a droid simulation on the way home from my friend's tea party where we talked about Real Housewives all night, and I almost hit a droid. I almost hit a black droid. Human matters. And this goes back to Duracell had a similar ad, but it was for girls. And I really want you to skip ahead to right when the kid is fighting in the hallway. This is plausible, right? This little Aryan boy fighting them. Zoop, zoop, zoop. Yes, most boys have this fantasy. And it's really awesome, by the way. Everything okay, bud?
I'm not sure yet.
Hurry.
Stop. Out of the 2 people that are going to run up to a kid who's, by the way, has Asperger's. He has mental problems if he's panting from a stormtrooper fantasy. They're upstairs, Mom. Give your kid less Adderall. But the mom does not run up and hand her son a lightsaber. Moms don't do that. You going outside to play Cowboys and Indians, son? Here, take this 6-gun. Pew! Blow their fucking heads off, boy. So he goes outside, and I can't.
Now, one thing I'll say about this is I do kind of agree to a certain point is commercials. And even TV and movie to a certain extent too, have kind of gotten on this kick, and it's been going for about the past decade or so, where you can't portray men as the hero. Men always have to be portrayed as the aloof.
Well, you can't portray black people as
criminals. I mean white men.
Yeah, you can't portray black people.
Well, that's what I'm
criminals.
getting to. You can't portray any black person as anything less than the best person in the commercial, unless it's a black dude. As long as he has a black woman that's smarter than him, you're good, or even a white woman that's smart. I mean, seriously, you're good. But if you got a white dude, he can't do shit. Like, if you got a white dude and a woman of any nationality, she gets center stage. He's the dumbass, you know, like, and it's like we see what you're doing, you know, like at this point it's just kind of forced. It's like I don't care necessarily, but it's something you notice.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, come on, dude. Like, now, do I care that the woman was the one that came up and handed the kid? No, I don't care. I mean, because the dad's obviously doing something manly. He's putting together the AT-AT.
Yep.
You know, that's what dads do at Christmas. They put together the toys.
The dad looks like Galen Erso.
A little bit. So, yeah, I mean, that doesn't bother me that much. But that is something I think that needs to be talked about. Again, it doesn't bother me. It's just something you notice.
Well, I mean, like, what I have to wonder is who are these people who are able to get their, like, angry letters of, your commercial offended me, read. Because I have sent things to people, and they gave no fucks about it.
Yeah.
So, like, I wonder, like, who are these people
I don't
who are
think there
able
was
to
any
get their
people.
emails through?
I don't think there was any people. I think it's just, you know, like, people of our generation
You think
grew up.
someone graduated from college with
Yeah.
a gender study degree.
Got into fucking making commercials, got into marketing, and
Said,
like
"Oh, you
it just-
can't do that."
I mean, because look, dude, it's Hollywood and marketing and all these things are ran basically by liberals, so you
Yeah.
know it's going to happen that way. You know, that's just how
mean,
they are.
They can't figure it out, though.
No.
They can't, like, if it's so obvious that everyone
Now I will
knows
say
what
that
you're
there
doing.
might have been a point where people were like, you know, like maybe black people were like, "Come on, you got to give us a bone," you know, like that might have happened. You know, but like I don't think it's as big of a problem as they make it seem by forcing this diversity. You know, I think there's a lot of virtue signaling going on.
I will tell you the dumbest point of forced diversity that's ever been done by anybody ever was done in real life.
Yeah.
And it was done by Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, where he literally made his cabinet or whatever the hell it is they have up there. It's like literally it's like an equal representation of men and women from every race and religion ever. Like
Yeah.
it's so completely like he's probably the only white person on it, right? And it's like
And that's fine if
but
those
is
people
it?
actually were qualified.
But is it fine? Because like nowhere on the planet do you find an equal
Oh
distribution.
no, I mean yeah, I
of
agree with that. I'm just
ever.
saying, like, I mean, like, look, if he had to pass over people of other nationalities and shit,
he did.
You know, just to make it that way, then that's fucked up.
It is.
You know,
Diversity for literally the only reason of it for being is just for diversity.
Yeah.
Then there's no point in being diverse.
No.
You can have diversity when diversity is a naturally occurring thing. Like I mean, like I'm not saying like let's go back to segregation or anything like that.
well,
but
fuck, that's what the fucking extreme leftists want to do.
Well, yeah. Forced diversity is almost meaningless.
Yeah.
Because just because you're
Well, I mean, it almost is a form of segregation.
It is.
Because it's like, looky here. We got the black guy, we got the white guy, we got the white woman, we got the black woman, we got the Indian, we got, you know what I'm saying? Like,
We got the guy that doesn't know what he is.
look, we
yet.
got them all in their own little spot, you know, on the panel.
We've divided them into separate housing groups. But no, this is equal.
This is
This isn't
diverse.
segregation.
Yeah.
You can't miss this girl.
Lisa! What took you so long?
Stop! Did you see that? She might as well have a glass of bourbon and a cigar in her mouth. What took you so long? Like, that's more than Indiana Jones. She's tougher than Indiana Jones.
What's
Show
wrong
that
with
again.
that, though?
Yeah, I mean, again, like, look, as far as, like, little girls and little boys playing together, man, I played with little girls. I played Star Wars with little girls.
Hell yeah, I
when
played
was a
Jurassic
kid.
Park with this little girl named Lucy.
You know, there are plenty of girls that like shit like this. I mean, yeah, it may not be reflective of the population as a whole.
Yeah.
You know, but, I mean, look, why not have a little girl that's tough? You know, I mean, fuck it.
I mean, she
Again.
was clearly Ray.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was a cool little surprise at the end of the commercial. Like, oh, my sister's out here playing too.
Exactly.
I mean, they want Star Wars to be a family thing. It's Disney.
Yep.
And normally it was more of a father-son thing. So
Yeah.
I honestly don't have a problem with them wanting to pull women into
Yeah, I
it
have
because
no
all
problem.
that does is fuel the franchise for me to watch more movies.
Exactly.
So as long as we don't get a 50 Shades of Yoda, I'll be okay.
What took you so long?
And she beats up two men whose only job in life is murdering. Women don't have these
I mean, that's
fantasies.
a
We need
good
more
point.
female
Yeah.
superheroes. No, we don't. Women don't
Because it's
fantasize.
imagination, Gavin.
Yeah, it's imagination, and again, it's sci-fi. Who cares? Sci-fi can be pretty much anything.
I mean, I don't think I ever played like a game of either, Cops and Robbers or Star Wars or Jurassic Park where I ended up getting defeated.
Yeah.
I always won, okay?
It's about breaking a bank robbery apart and getting all the bad guys. They're not as strong as us, for one.
I mean, it clearly even shows right there that everything happening is in the kid's head. It's the kid's imagination. They're just
Yeah.
having fun, Gavin.
There's kids having fun.
Power of imagination.
All right, that's enough.
But now,
I'm especially-
those are rich parents, though. I mean,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
like a $350,000 house.
Yeah.
Their kids had the $60 lightsabers.
There's just
you know.
definitely some affluenza going on there.
Oh yeah.
I'm pissed off because I waited forever for Jason Bourne to get on demand, and I had to pay $50.99 because it was only available to buy. And I'm watching it going, wait a minute, why is this insanely hot woman 50% of the movie? What's her role now? Oh, she's a hacker. She's a hacker? She's a hacker who's going to bring Jason Bourne back. By the way, Jason Bourne's mad at the government because they killed his fucking father. And this chick is the hacker who's going to find him and go, we need you back, buddy. What took you so long? Hackers don't look like this.
I'm cool with them looking like that.
Some of them do.
Yeah, some of them do. I mean, look, and hacking's like not even like anybody can be a hacker. You know,
I mean,
like all
it's
you gotta do is
true.
have a computer.
It is true. Most of them look like you and me.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, but I mean, if he's gonna be mad about a female
For
hacker,
the sake of a fucking movie, who the fuck cares?
if he's gonna be mad about a female hacker, he really needs to turn it back a couple decades
Yeah.
to the early '90s with Angelina Jolie's movie Hackers.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
exactly. I mean, look, dude, I love Gavin, but I think he might have come off a little more sexist here than he should have. You know, again, I'm not one to throw that around very
that
much.
is something that like if there's like one thing that I haven't really liked about Gavin is that he. And it's not. I don't
Well,
know.
I think
if
he
you could
does it
even
on
call
purpose.
Sexist. It's more the traditional role form for him.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean,
know?
it's but he goes so far with it that it comes off
Exactly.
as sexist. Like it doesn't like I'm not saying it is sexist. I'm just saying it comes off that
he
way.
sounds like the old men that the current feminist
Yeah.
movement thinks wants to keep them from
I mean,
doing anything.
I don't get offended by it, obviously. And,
you still watch them.
exactly.
Hackers look like this. You just
I mean,
ruined
we did
another
just say
movie
that.
by
Yeah.
cramming your agenda into it. Look, I'm not liberal, but it's got to get to the point now where even liberals are going, can you stop cramming your homework into my entertainment?
And look, I mean, I consider myself a liberal. I'm very, very far to the right for most liberals that we come to think about the term liberal.
Yeah.
And I agree. It's just like, look, dude, at a certain point, can't we just have things feel natural?
Yeah.
You know, and just, again, Star Wars is whatever. It's fine.
They did
I
it
have no
right.
problems with it. They do a good job with it.
I mean, if that's what if literally their agenda is the feminist or SJW progressive agenda or whatever it is, they do it well, and you don't really notice it too hard.
Exactly. The biggest problem with that is the actual feminists and SJWs in the world that will use it, to their advantage to be like, Star Wars is my movie now.
If they,
it's
if they
like,
tried
no,
to come out and say
Star
that,
Wars is for everybody. Shut the fuck up.
If they tried to come out and say that, I'd be like, yeah, okay. Who's the guy that died in the middle of Hoth? What was his name? Well, I don't know. That was the bad movies.
Oh, the one thing I'll say about this movie is like they introduced a lot of new fucking planets.
Yeah, but
Like,
it was cool.
It was cool, but I was like, wait, what? What are these places
Well, like,
they're talking about?
They did it. They did something in Star Wars that's never been done before either. Well, two things actually. One, there was no screen crawl,
Yeah, I meant to bring that
which
up too.
I was glad about that. Because
Yeah,
they need
save that for the
yeah,
actual.
and that's what they've
episodes.
said that they're doing.
Yeah.
But they debated on.
I mean, it
for a
wouldn't make
while.
sense though because like these movies are what the crawls explain.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Kinda,
like,
yeah.
that episode 4's crawl was explaining this movie.
Explain this major victory. Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, that makes sense that they wouldn't have them.
And then the other thing that they did that they haven't done in other Star Wars movies was they actually would label the shit that they're going to, like, hey, this is Eadu, scientific outpost for the Empire.
You know what else I liked was the they did it a couple times in this movie. It was the iconic scene of like the long shot with the ships coming in, but the guys in the foreground, in the tower. Like, because it always makes me think of the Family Guy, where it's like pew pew.
Yeah. I thought the last one of that was the best, where he just He looked like and because normally I guess he's tracking the ship that's leaving, and because it didn't have like a flight pattern or whatever, he was just like, well, what the hell?
Well,
he just kind of
whatever.
looks at it like, yeah, fuck it, we ain't gonna shoot this one down.
Yeah.
By the way, just as I said with Ghostbusters, this Rogue One is going to flop.
Okay, look,
I don't
man.
think so. I mean, look, the reason. All right, let's put this in perspective. The reason Ghostbusters flopped. Number one, every trailer was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, it was a shitty fucking movie. Like everything, like the controversy surrounding it turned people off. Like so much bad shit about Ghostbusters. Star Wars is fucking Star Wars, dude. Like it's gonna take a lot of bad juju to ruin any Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
It's gonna take a lot more than a bad trailer, and the trailers were good.
I mean,
You know, and the movie's pretty good.
if
You know?
Jar Jar Binks and what some people call Mannequin Skywalker didn't do it,
Yeah, if
I
those
think we're okay.
If the prequels didn't ruin Star Wars, I don't think this little one-off movie's gonna do it.
And I mean, really, let's also think about it like everybody wanted a new Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted it. But they wanted it with the original cast. And then when Ramis died,
Exactly.
they kind of shooed that away. And then out of nowhere, here they come. Hey, we got a Ghostbusters movie coming out. Oh, you do? Yeah, we're going to do a shit ton of them. One of them's going to be all women. One of them's going to be all black people. One of them's going to be all ghosts. It's going
Like,
to be
why
fucking
can't we just
nuts.
have a normal fucking movie?
I mean, like, it wasn't even a reboot, was it?
No, it was supposed to be, but it was really just a remake.
Well, because
honestly.
like they come up with like all the shit, even though like the old Ghostbusters, they're not. Wait, you said they are referenced or they aren't? Because I still haven't
No,
watched
they're not. They're in all of them.
I know
as
they
cameos.
make cameos. Yeah. But like,
no, it's
they
a
don't
totally
even
new
reference like
no.
an event in the 1980s.
No.
Okay, so it's a complete reboot.
No, it's a remake. Don't call it a reboot, because a reboot would insinuate that they actually did something that would want them to keep making more. It didn't do that. Like it was a shot for shot, point for point remake.
Well, my favorite thing is that these Hollywood executives, like, obviously they're so full of themselves. Like, because when they announced this Ghostbusters movie, they announced, I think at least one more, if not two more. And those are canned now. Completely canned.
Yeah.
Just like when they came out with, oh, shit, what was it? Oh, yeah, Fantastic Four. They're like, yeah, sequel's already in pre-production. And then, after the first week, they said, never mind. Fantastic Four will never see a sequel. Not this one, anyway.
No.
Like, they get so full of themselves, they put out all these, like, crazy, like, futuristic production schedules without even having any guarantee that the movie's going to make a dime.
Well, and two, like, again, the problem with Ghostbusters is it was just fucking, number one, the writing was bad. Number two, they let them improv way too much. And at the end of the day, like, it came off as being like a movie that was like a property that was handled by people that didn't give a shit about the property.
Right.
And that's what fucked them. Like, if they could have made a movie that was at least halfway respectful to the original fucking franchise, it would have been a completely different ballgame. It probably still wouldn't have done as good, but they may not have lost money, because that movie's still, that shit's still sitting at a loss right now. But no, like Rogue One, dude, that theater was packed tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And usually, like, these days, especially since they've started doing preview screenings earlier and earlier. See, it used to be you had, like, midnight.
It was midnight,
and that was it. And then they started doing, like, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's, like, all day Thursday.
No, I feel like they probably started either 8 or 9 tonight.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, most movies that do that, like, now, like, unless it's, like, a big one, like, there's 3 or 4 people in the theater.
And it's important to
Star Wars is
point
packed.
out, though, that all of the Thursday showings and all of the Friday showings and all of the Saturday showings, they're sold out.
No, that's not just, I mean, eventually people might, because they are planning a Star Wars movie every year for the foreseeable future. People might get
Well,
people might get tired of it. The bubble might burst eventually.
Well, but see,
right
that's why
now
they're
people are
doing it
still
this
on the
way.
high.
That's why they're doing it this way, because we're getting a main story every 2 years.
Yeah.
And we're getting a completely new take on the genre
Yeah.
every other year.
And that's one thing I heard somebody make a point about too, is like all the movies it's gonna end up being like the Assassin's Creed video games. It's going to start to suffer around about episode 8. And but I mean, you got to think, like, the same people aren't working on every movie.
No.
They got a different team on every movie. They got different writers, different directors. You know, different, the whole different, it's not like the same people are working on every one, running out of ideas.
This movie was not composed by John Williams,
No.
which, interesting story, he actually just started, he not composing, but he went in to start recording.
That's gotta, you know, I was thinking about this tonight too. That's gonna be a rough job for somebody like John Williams or like Danny Elfman or somebody like that.
Yeah.
They have a specific style and they do all these movies and they like, especially for like Star Wars, like as many as he's done. Do you think he runs out of ideas? Like he's got to run out of ideas for the score eventually, right? He's like, man, I've done fucking 8 of these movies already, or 7 or whatever.
What you really have to think of though is that the shit that he said no to in the 70s, like the ideas he came up with then, he can revisit now and tweak them. But I mean, I feel that someone like John Williams or even Danny Elfman, if they didn't feel that they could do it or that they didn't feel the want to do it, then they wouldn't. Because they're not doing it for the money and they're not doing it for the fame or the credit now.
Yeah.
They've got those things. They're doing it now because they feel at least a connection to it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you know, John Williams is going to die soon. Like,
he's getting up there.
2016 still got a few more days, all right? So, I mean, it's been a bad year. I mean, hell, dude, Alan Thicke died the other day.
Yeah.
I like Alan Thicke. A lot of people don't.
Alan Thicke was cool.
I mean, he was like, you know, like cool, crazy dad.
Yeah.
From Growing Pains, and he's a cool dude.
Who else has died this year? A bunch of people.
It's fucking Harambe.
Dicks out, bitches.
Fucking,
There's been a few. All right, let's just,
fucking, I can't think of his name. David Bowie, he's dead as shit.
Oh, yeah. There's been a lot of people. I'm just...
Lemmy, he's dead
Oh,
as
yeah,
shit.
Lemmy. Fucking Lemmy. God damn, dude. What the fuck? We might do a year-end review on the next show.
The astronaut, the first man to orbit the Earth,
that guy just died last week.
He died.
Okay, so that's... I don't really have anything else to say. Gavin McGinnis, I love you, dude, but,
Yeah, you're funny.
I think you're
the
wrong
Rebel's
about this one.
interesting, But, yeah.
I mean, you made some good points in that video, but Rogue One is not going to flop. It's going to be at least a few more films before we can even start talking about Star Wars being something people don't care about anymore.
I mean, honestly, I don't see them losing money all the way up until Episode 9,
No.
and I would say the movie after that, but they haven't said what it's about yet.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, there's no way Episode 8 flops.
No.
At all.
No.
And there's absolutely no way that the Han Solo movie
Well, at this
flops.
point, like, people are still ready for them. Like, people are still like, oh, sweet, more Star Wars.
Well, like,
You know?
I did hear something, though, that this might be the last trilogy. Like, they may not
I thought they were going to go all the way to 12.
Well, see, that was what they originally said, but more recently I've been hearing that this will be the last trilogy, which would mean that we'd go from probably getting, like, for these first 6 years, one every year, to where we'd probably only get one every 2 to 3 years.
Shit, what if, like, when we're, like, 60 years old, they just reboot the shit all together and just start back off with A New Hope again with, like, all new actors?
No,
and all
at that point, the records would have been, like, blurred somehow.
Yeah.
Due to the great internet wars of the 2030s.
Yeah.
That they'll start off with the Phantom Menace. They'll be like, the very first Star Wars ever made.
Fuck.
And then you and me will be like, you're wrong. You're wrong.
My balls! I don't want my balls sticking to my legs.
I don't know if I need to watch any more of it. That 3 seconds is more than enough.
Let's do this and then we'll end the show.
Manspreading is when a man
When
spreads
a woman
his
tries to
physical body
manspread,
to
everyone wonders where the fish market is.
But
as much space as humanly possible.
The people around you are relegated to a very small portion, but the key to manspreading is not noticing.
We grow up on
Hold on. Did you see the way that would go back just a little bit? Like, maybe like 2 frames. Look at how that guy's sitting. The guy wearing the Jordans?
Yeah.
He might be having his leg out into the aisle, but he is completely giving the other person more room than he has.
Exactly.
Because that leg is in the middle of his chair.
Yeah, the whoever's sitting next to him has plenty of room.
Whoever edited your video edited the worst example of manspreading there is.
Yeah.
Not noticing.
We grow up on two different tracks. People who manspread just are so.
And look at this guy. He's not taking up any space.
That's his seat. That's his exact seat.
He's within the
on
confines.
the cushion.
Yeah, he's within the confines of his seat. What the fuck?
Because it's not actually a problem.
Here's another guy. Look at this guy.
He's holding his coffee cup.
Yeah.
That's where women hold their coffee cups. What the hell?
About it. I have so many vivid memories as a child of my mum telling me to close my legs.
With gender, we're constantly working towards trying to get to this middle.
This week of manspreading is definitely going to make me feel anxious. As much as a super strong feminist, I want to say it won't.
I kind of secretly hope to annoy some men.
Of course you do. You already do by looking like a man.
All three of you are very bad people, just for going along with this. And that's
the one in the middle would annoy the shit out of me when she started talking.
Yeah.
The one on our left would annoy the shit out of me when she started talking. The one on the right, I would ask her if she was single.
That's my first train trip as a manspreader. I just feel like a monster already.
You're being obnoxious. You should feel like a monster.
Look, she's doing it the way most people who are courteous do it.
Yeah, exactly.
One leg like it would normally be, the other one over here.
They get a lot worse.
Can you do this every...
Look at this. Like, I don't even know what the fuck that's supposed to be.
See, and she's taking up 2 seats purposefully there.
Yeah.
day without being conscious of it?
I just manspread on the bus for maybe a 5-minute ride for the first time, and it wasn't even half full, and I was already getting glared at, so I think this is going to be a kind of long...
Nobody's glaring at you because you're manspreading. They're glaring at you because you're a hot chick.
Because you're pretty.
Yeah.
You should be used to that.
Yeah.
week.
It's day 2.
And because you got your legs open with your vagina on display.
That girl, dude,
like a
she
hot
looks
chick with her
high.
fucking vagina just presented out, like people are going to look.
She looks high as fuck.
She is high as fuck.
Of manspreading, and I forgot that I had to do this.
I think whenever a woman takes up space, she's considered bossy, she's considered aggressive. There are a lot of stereotypes surrounding black women and whether or not we're angry or we're dominant. And so maybe...
What is this? This is like... that's just like slouchy and slobby.
Yeah, that's not
You know?
manspreading.
No.
a lot of the reasons why I do minimalize my presence is because I don't want to be perceived or
It's
engaged
just unattractive. I mean, if you want to sit that way, it's cool. I don't care, but it's just whatever, dude. You look like a fucking caveman.
with those stereotypes.
Her hair is stupid, too.
Yeah.
I just got my nails done, and I manspread during my entire manicure.
So you had somebody like all up in your business with your business all spread open. Okay.
Classic.
And
At least it wasn't a pedicure. Well, I smell fish.
You know, I was manspreading during my entire OBGYN visit.
nobody
He
really
didn't say a
seemed
word, though.
to notice. I'm not sure if it was because it was all women and we were just all kind of in our own world or what, but it was kind of awesome.
I'm halfway through the week and really not enjoying this experiment at all. I'm still giving my seat up to people who need it because, of course, I am.
And you know what? Most dudes do that too. Like,
No. Men have absolutely no concern for anything but the amount of airflow going to their dick.
yeah.
What is it between their legs that's so important that it requires 2 to 3 seats when
Testicles.
there are kids?
Well, no. I mean, these guys are all only taking up 1 seat. But the reason our legs spread open a little bit is because we have fucking balls. And you know what I want to do? Like I said this in my video, and I'll say it here. I want to fucking devise a way, and I want to make this a YouTube video. So if anybody out there steals this idea, I'm coming after you. I'm gonna fucking create a device that's like a ball sack, some testicles, that a woman can wear between her legs. And I don't know if I want to make it like, I want to figure out some way that it hurts them.
Electrocution.
That's what I was thinking.
Directly to the clit.
Well, I was thinking, like, you know those muscle shockers you can get, like those pad, like you can get. They used them in Jackass and they put them on their balls and shit.
Yeah.
Like I figured you could get some of those and rig them up in a way to where when the ball sack touches their leg, it shocks them. But I was thinking you wouldn't even need to do that. You just need
sit
to
on them.
Oh, dude, yeah, sitting on your balls is the worst. I've done that a few times. I do it at least once a month.
I'm sorry, man.
It sucks, dude. But yeah, if we could figure, like, I want to do this experiment, and this will be a counter to this video, and we'll make chicks wear these balls between their legs, and for a week, and we'll be like, just tell us if you notice them. We don't even have to do the pain part of it. Just tell us if you notice the shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I guarantee that it's going to be a fucking issue. Like, I mean, again, even if you don't have big balls, it's a fucking issue. Like, because they can fucking hurt. You can sit with your legs together for a while, you know, for a few minutes. But even after a while, it's like, dude, you got to fucking let them breathe.
I just realized I'm manspreading right now.
Dude, I manspread all the time. I'm manspreading like a motherfucker right now.
I mean, I think it's just called being comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's being comfortable. And again, it's, you know, it's like... I'm sorry, but, you know, you guys have nothing in your lap and nothing between your legs.
If you notice the guy in the back of the picture, he's also manspreading, but he's put one leg over the other.
Well, I mean, that's fine because there's nobody in that seat. And the thing about it is like, in most cases that I've seen people, like, they've snapped pictures and put them up on Instagram and shit, like these feminists, and put them on Tumblr. People, look at this guy manspreading. It's like there's plenty of seats on the bus or on the train, whatever.
I'd also like to point out they're making fun of a handicapped person right now.
Yeah.
That person sitting in the handicapped space. So, I mean, why would you shame someone that's handicapped?
Yeah.
It's families, women, and elderly people standing up.
I saw a guy who was taking up 2 seats. When I sat down, I spread my legs out, which kind of pushed his leg into his own seat. And he turned to me and gave me a dirty look and said, "Seriously?"
Yeah, because you're being a cunt. Like,
I mean, I would have taken that as flirting and hit her knee back.
Yeah.
and then when she did it again, I would have been like, "So, what's your number?"
I mean, he probably. I would say I'd put probably about $10 on the fact that never actually happened.
No,
honestly, I mean, she might have actually done that, but I don't think that exchange actually happened. He might have looked at her and like, you know, is this chick trying to flirt with me or is she just being a bitch? You know. But again, if that was with what they just showed there was her doing that to that guy, again, she was within the confines of her space.
What I like is that they're talking about the fact that people are standing and one guy's taking up 4 seats, but they haven't shown a single example of one guy taking up more than 1 seat.
Yeah, they never show. They haven't shown that. They just say it.
So it's a hypothetical problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit.
Okay.
Women are expected to be quiet, small, and almost invisible.
No, they're not. They're not expected to be anything. You're expected to be decent human beings.
Yep.
You're expected to be like, hey, if a guy's taking up more than his space on a train or something, be like, hey, dude, I'm trying to sit here. Scoot over a little bit. Be a fucking person. Stop being fucking passive-aggressive and socially awkward. Look, I get it. I have issues talking to people out in public. I have anxiety. I get it. But... you know, these stigmas and these things you talk about aren't because other people expect it from you. It's because you expect it from you. It's because you will not fucking go up to somebody and be like, hey, dude, scoot over. You know, some guys maybe you should be like, hey, here's the seat next to me. Have a seat and try not to encroach on your space. But again, I haven't seen one example. Not even in this video, but in everything I've ever seen on Manspreading, I've never seen one example of a guy that's doing it to the point of where there's not enough seat for somebody else to sit down next to him. I've seen plenty of pictures of women with their fucking purses in the next seat so that somebody can't sit there.
Whoa. Whoa. First of all, that's extremely sexist.
Yeah.
Okay? A woman's purse is an extension of her body.
Exactly.
Okay?
But a man's balls are just nothing, I guess.
No, they're nothing. They don't even, like, have any function. Like, it's not like they carry the seed of life.
Whereas men can be these boisterous slobs.
I mean, look, dude, there's nobody on this train right now that she's at that is hurting for a seat. And this is probably early in the morning. The guy's just fucking trying to get a little bit of sleep in before school or work.
Should also point out that they're probably in New York.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be this super progressive city, which I've always found it super funny that whenever you see like these videos made, they're doing them in these uber progressive cities where they're so much better than the hunky dunk town like where we're from.
Yeah.
You know, but the problems are still here. Well, you know what? There aren't even subways in Winchester. Just come on down. You know, you can ride in your own car and manspread as much as you want.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Today, instead of feeling the confidence that I've kind of been feeling the rest of the week, I started to feel a little guilty. While I was sitting there taking up 2 seats, a guy came up to sit next to me, and instead of moving over like I normally would, I kind of just had to sit there with my legs out, and instead of saying something to me, he just sat on the edge of the seat the entire time.
You're a cunt. A hot cunt, but you're a cunt nonetheless. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know too many guys that wouldn't be like, hey, pretty lady, you know, or hey, manly looking lady, you know, here's a seat here. I don't need this seat. I'm taking up 2 here. Sit down next. I mean, no. And if he doesn't notice you, if he doesn't see you, like, you have every right to go up and like, hey, dude, I want to sit here, you know, like, scoot over.
Like if like I have like a 2-seat thing to myself, yeah, I probably will take up more room than I need.
Yeah, I mean, if nobody's hurting for a seat, why not?
If someone comes onto the bus and, like, this is the seat that either they want or is the only option, I'll close my legs a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's called courtesy.
Exactly.
But if they just looked at me and was like, you're manspreading, at that point, I would throw my leg up and go, sit and twist, bitch.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if they make some kind of deal out of it, then yeah, it's like, fuck you.
It's like, no, I was being comfortable. If you would like to sit down, I could readjust myself.
Yeah.
So I've come across another person, quote unquote, manspreading. But
I mean, you're on like a single person seat there. Who cares?
wait, they identify as female. Women can take up space as well?
Even though I'm a confident person,
Any man that would point it to that camera at her pussy would have gotten in a lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah. Put your pussy on display like that, I'm gonna take a picture of it, bitch.
To make myself small even when the situation doesn't call for it. I kind of felt uncomfortable manspreading even though there was no one around me.
I've not enjoyed this week at all.
Because you're doing something wrong. That's why you haven't enjoyed it. You're being a bitch.
Very first day where a group of people came on, they were going to a game and they were all...
She's wearing leather Chuck Taylors, by the way.
Yeah. And she's being an asshole here. These people obviously need a seat. The camera guy is obviously taking up more seats than he should. You know, but look at her all stretched out there. Bitch, like, that's not even manspreading. That's just laying across 2 seats like an asshole.
Yeah, that's not manspreading.
No.
Desperate for a seat and I was taking up 3 seats and they started talking about personal space. All their eyes were just on me and
yeah, because you're being a dick.
They were mostly women. If it was a group of dudes, I would have been like...
So clearly, the one woman that was standing just obviously didn't want to sit at all since the chick that walked into frame took a seat.
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, there's a camera guy there, so, like, he might be taking up a little bit of space. Because it looks like she's kind of sitting on the edge of the seat. So that's, like, 2 infractions of this bitch.
Yeah.
I thought that manspreading would kind of give me this air of disregard because I thought that I worried too much about what people think, and I've realized that I worry just enough. You should be considered.
You're making a big deal out of this shit. People probably hate you because you're being an asshole.
It's probably because you look like you don't shower and the stench was getting to you.
Yeah, you look pretty dirty. And doing, like, these manly gestures. Oh, my God, sexism. You know, but doing these manly gestures with your legs, you know, and drawing attention to yourself. People are going to fucking look upon you with disgust. And they're probably not going to want to come near you. That's just the truth of the matter.
With whether or not the people around you are comfortable, because that means you're a good community member.
My favorite part of this exercise was easily when I got to sit next to men who were taking up way too much space and just forcefully work my way in.
Like, I wonder how many of these guys were like at the point. Yeah, I was going to say just at the point in their life where like they don't get a lot of play for women, and just the fact that their knee is touching her knee, they like go home at night and just jerk off to that fact.
Oh, dude, he's covering his boner.
Oh yeah, he's like, oh my God, this hot chick is touching my leg.
Oh, she has a Buzzfeed bag.
Oh God,
and she has 8 different types of glasses, so they're totally not prescription.
No, of course not.
She couldn't afford that. Not that many pairs.
Seat and without words say, hey, I deserve to sit here.
To be forced to manspread really showed me how up your own ass you have to be as a person.
That's not manspreading.
Nope.
Gosh, that's being an asshole.
And you look like a man, so.
Yeah, you do, so who cares?
Person to not be conscious of those around you.
You may not have big balls, but I bet you have really large pussy lips.
In the shape of testicles.
Yes.
And a 5-inch clit.
Yeah, probably.
The man that's taking up too much space on a bus, on the plane, on the bench, we see.
Look at how big that bench is.
None of them are complaining.
No.
They're all comfortable.
Shut the fuck up.
You don't need that much room. To the young women out there.
Dude, you could take up all the room on that bench and there'd still be room.
Someone could lay down on that bench and those 4 guys would be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I say you should definitely be aware of your surroundings. If there's something that you want, if there's something you want to say, if there's a position that you want to hold, take up that space.
No, how about you go to the other people in that space and be like, hey, can you share this space?
It's my favorite thing about when they're trying to empower people is how stupid they are when they realize that what they're saying with like if anyone disagreed with them like whatsoever, like, well, actually I think men are the superior sex. They would be like, no, you can't go say that. Well, you just told me to be empowered.
Yeah.
You know?
You deserve that space. Girl.
Nobody deserves anything. Nobody.
You take up space. You fill the room with your crotch.
Oh, BuzzFeed. What the fuck
I bet
is wrong with you?
BuzzFeed gave her that bag.
Probably.
So now I'm not as upset about it. Because at first I thought she was just like someone who walked around like proudly proclaiming, I watch BuzzFeed.
Fucking BuzzFeed, are you kidding me?
We should do some of that shit that like other YouTubers have done, you know, like when they put out one of their question videos, you know, like questions for white people. But I want one for like that should be like questions for fat men or something like that. Like why do you eat so much? Because it tastes good.
Yeah, I've thought about that. I've been trying to come up with an idea for something like that.
Or we could ask BuzzFeed 20 questions.
I don't know if I can come up with 20 questions. I'd be like, why do you suck so much? Why are you such a bunch of fucking virtue signaling bitches?
Remember question 1? Answer it again.
20 more times till you come up with the right answer. Shit, I had something else, but I can't remember what it is now. So I guess we'll call that the end of the show. All right, so that's going to do it for this edition of Chronic Confusion. Man, I feel like I had something else Star Wars related I was going to tack on at the end here, and I just completely fucking forgot. Oh, no. You know what? Fuck that. What did you... I don't have a graphic for it or anything, but we'll end the show with this. What did you think of the season or the mid-season finale of The Walking Dead?
Ooh.
Spoilers, people, spoilers. Matter of fact, we haven't talked in a couple weeks. What have you thought about the season so far as a whole?
Great.
I wish I could agree.
Great. You know why? You know why? Because they have decided that the story is from the source material, the comic, and not from their stupid ideas. Because some of their ideas have been really stupid. Like, let's see. Let's think of a stupid idea that they had. Daryl Dixon. Okay? Okay? But no, the reason that I've liked it is because Negan's the best character ever put to comics.
But he hasn't been used nearly enough.
Well, he's been used as much as he's been in it. Like, if you've read the comics, like where they're at in the comics, they've literally moved 4 or 5 issues in this part of the season from where we started. No, I really like it because they've introduced the key components of what they've needed to do. I don't like the bottle episodes, but I feel that every fan of anything ever will say they don't like bottle episodes. So like,
it just feels like I just feel like it slows down the pace too much.
Yeah, well, but they have to. They have to, you know, because we're getting on the comic book section now. Like we're catching up to the comics to the point that we have maybe 2.5 seasons of material before we've passed the comics.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I've said it before, my issue is like I like the fact that they stick close to the source material now, but I still feel like they're sticking a little too close. Like I feel like you can use the comics and certain cues from the comics, but like you get to the point where you're pretty much just taking the book straight to the screen, and it gets too predictable.
They can't do that, which is what I'm like. They've spiced it up enough for me to where I know the main notes that they're gonna hit, but getting to those main notes is what's interesting to me because Judith is not alive in the comics.
Yeah.
So Negan interacting with a baby was something we've never seen before, and I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah. Again, I didn't like Tara's episode.
Tara's episode was so bad.
The
they
fact
should
that
not
they
have done
shoot in Oceanside like that,
yeah,
which makes me feel that they're going to give Michonne's story from the comics to Tara. But they had to give Andrea's story from the comics to Michonne. Yeah. And they're also giving part of Michonne's story to Carol. The part where Ezekiel loves her.
Part of Andrea is also Sasha, too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I felt they set up Maggie's transformation into a leader very well.
Yeah.
I loved when she hit Gregory.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we're going to be completely honest, I feel that the first episode and then the last two were the best of the season so far. Because it gave me the scenes that I most wanted out of the comics to date, which were Lucille killing people, awesome. Carl killing saviors and getting the tour of the sanctuary, awesome. And then Spencer proving he has guts.
This is one thing I want to ask you. You might know. I tried to find the answer earlier, but I was distracted, so I don't know. I may have overlooked it. What is the timeline of the TV show? Because I know that in the comics, not a lot of time has passed since the start of the. Because Carl's still pretty young in the comics at this point.
So,
but of course, they can't be that way because humans grow.
Right.
You know,
that's like I noticed Enid, whatever her name is, she aged a lot from last season. Exactly. Even though it's literally been 3 days showtime, maybe like literal time passing.
So from the time that like.
Do you mean from the very first episode to now, or do you mean what this season's?
I'm talking the very first episode of season 1 until now. Are we going like? Because I know in the comics it's only. I mean, but how has Carl gotten so old, dude?
Yeah, you can't explain that part. That's something that we just have to forget.
No, we can't forget that. I mean, it has to. You know, you can't just forget that he was fucking like 8 or 10 or whatever in the fucking season 1, and it's only been 6 months or a year or maybe even 2 years, but now he's 18. He's about to turn 18.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, you can't account for that because he aged 6 goddamn months in between the first time we saw him in the lineup and the time that Glenn got his head bashed in. That's the problem with casting kids, is that kids get older while your adult cast can.
But I'm saying, like, taking that into account, they should alter the TV show, the TV world's timeline to fit that. Otherwise, it's like I don't want to have to suspend my disbelief to sit here and think that Carl has just not aged since season 1 or 2, you know?
Well, he's not supposed to have aged a lot. And I mean,
but
again, they
and
can't.
That's the problem.
You know, 7 years in real life is a lot different than 6 months in TV life. And I mean, I know what you're saying, but honestly, the biggest jump of time that The Walking Dead's ever experienced doesn't happen until after we finish the next story arc of the TV show, and it's a 2-year span of peace that we don't get any info on other than it was peaceful.
But going back to the current season, the Tara episode I felt like could have been condensed down and it could have been combined with like the maybe the Kingdom episode.
I mean, I understand why it was there because we hadn't seen her because she was pregnant. You know, the actress was pregnant, so she wasn't, you know, a big part of last season. And at the very end, her and Heath are like, we're leaving. We got to go do this run. So we needed to get an update on that.
Yeah, but it could have been like, look, the Oceanside shit was awesome, like introducing them. They're going to play a big part, I'm sure, in the all-out war.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Not during the war, no.
You don't think so?
Nope, I don't think that. I honestly don't think Rick and them even find out about Oceanside until after the war's done. Like, if they do it,
I figured Tara would be like, hey, I met these people, and they could really help us against Negan because they know who he is and they have a history with him.
She might have told Rosita, but I doubt it. Because you remember at the end of that episode...
Well, I'm not saying she told him yet. I'm just saying
that
they could get to the point where they're trying to be like, we need more soldiers. And she'd be like, hey, I know these women that have a lot of guns, you know, and they have a history with Negan. They might be willing to fight.
So,
you know,
when we knew that this was what the season was going to be about, I was in some forums and I was talking to people and I was like, so what do you think about, you know, like I was like, they could literally take issues 101 through 108 and literally make it the first half of the season, which would lead us directly into all out war for 7B. But what I think what they're doing is I think that the beginning of all out war will be the final, or it will be the finale of this season.
I think it will be too.
So I think we have probably 2 episodes of them trying to plan and be like, well, we don't have enough people.
Yeah.
And then, they just met up with Hilltop, so they're going to start talking there. But they have to go to the Kingdom and then convince them. And then I think Negan's going to end up, I think it's the Holly thing from the comics, where he returns their captive, or like, he had a prisoner and he returns it, but like she has a bag over her face, and when she takes the bag off, it's actually a walker and she kills someone else. I think that's going to end up being the catalyst, something along those lines, as he returns someone like he has been, like with Carl, but they're dead this time. Because, I mean, they're already at the tipping point. It's just they have to get their shit together. Like, if you want to think about it, this is like them forming the Rebel Alliance right now.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's been an alright season. I've liked it. I think it's been good. I just haven't been overly impressed with it.
See, like, I've honestly never wanted to buy the DVDs of Walking Dead. Never wanted to. And it's not because, I watch them in other ways. It's the reason I want to buy it is because, like, I watched the scene from season 6 with Negan in it.
Yeah.
And that's Negan. When Negan says fuck every 2 words, that's Negan.
Yeah.
So I want to find out if the Blu-ray of this is going to have the same thing with the F-takes.
They said I saw an interview with him the other day, and he said they did double shots of everything.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
Perfect, because I mean, like, I will tell you, one of the best lines in the comic did make it onto the show unedited.
Which one?
Negan looked at Rick and said, "I just slid my dick down your throat.
Oh yeah.
And you thanked me."
Yeah.
One of the best lines ever.
So yeah. I'm
So you're kind of half and half, and I like
the season finale kind of made up for a lot of the gripes I had. I felt like there could have been a little more action. Who do you think the Boots are?
I have
the
no
person
idea.
that was watching.
That's probably the most interesting and unknown part.
And here's another thing I want to ask: do you think they kept? Do you think secretly off camera that Rick and Aaron stowed away some of those guns that they got from that houseboat?
I don't know how they could have, though. Like, I mean, they probably thought about it, right? They probably like put them somewhere else in the vehicle.
Yeah.
But when they pull up and the Saviors are there, it's kind of like ruined any plan they might have.
I mean, I just feel like that they could have easily, and it wouldn't surprise me if we get into the next half of the season or even into season 9 and they're like going to do the fighting and they're like, we need guns. Well, like, we got some.
That is a very interesting departure from the comic story. Yeah. In the comic story, the Saviors do not take Alexandria's guns. They don't.
Yeah.
Because that's the
they
thing.
need them to go out and get shit.
Like, that's the reason, like, and honestly, it's Ezekiel that pushes Rick into fighting him. It's not Rick deciding he wants to fight. And the reason Ezekiel realizes this is because they have the one thing that the Saviors don't, and that is ammunition. Yeah. And then Eugene starts building them, and also Eugene getting captured is a new twist too. So
so Negan's gonna have all the bullets.
Poor old Rosita getting her pretty little face cut. It doesn't matter, man. That scar, she's still hot.
It was a neat little twist of her shooting Lucille, but at the same time, that kind of pissed me off. Well, like, I didn't want Negan to get shot. I mean, but it's just like, really, the bat, like.
Well, they do shoot, like, there is that's a callback from a scene, but it's not Rosita. I think it's Andrea, and she misses the shot.
Yeah,
but it takes a chunk out of Lucille and not just embeds into it.
That's what it should have done. It should have took a chunk out, and maybe the bat could have slowed it down enough, and it still could have hit him and not killed him.
Yeah,
that would have been more believable to me. But the fact that it just stuck in the bat, I was like, come on.
I think it should have taken a chunk out of it.
Yeah,
but I mean, it was just seen lifted.
His reaction to it was awesome.
Right, exactly. You just tried to fucking kill me. Well, he didn't say fuck on the TV.
Because he was so pleasant through like most of the episode, Then he gets down to Spencer pissing him off, and then and that was the last straw.
That was one of my favorite things. He's like, you're right. Rick does hate me, but he's out there fucking working for
Yeah.
me right
He
now.
makes a good point. Oh, and the thing where he's like, I fed your boy spaghetti. Yeah. Dude, that cracked me up.
Taught him how to shave.
Yeah, taught him how to shave, and I fed him spaghetti. It's like,
I'm going to have to get me a vacation home in the suburbs.
Yeah.
He's killing it.
He's awesome, dude.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan is killing it.
I will say that he is my favorite character that they've added. Like, in all the different characters that have come on throughout the seasons.
And, like, one of the best parts was, like, they didn't give him direction on the character. Like, they said that he came in and he started doing the reading. Like, during his first few takes, he was, like, waiting for someone to correct him or say, do it more like this, and no one said a word. So he's like, I guess I'm doing it good then.
Yeah. Well, he read the comics, too. It's like preparation.
Yeah.
So he probably had a good idea in his head.
When his agent called him and said that Kirkman and Gimple and AMC wanted to meet with him for a possible role on AMC... He said the first words he said to his agent was it for Negan? Is it Negan? It better be fucking Negan.
Yeah. So he knew the character. Like,
Yeah.
he probably had a picture in his head of how it should go. But, yeah, I'm at least excited for the next half of the season. I feel like they got all the bottle episodes and shit out of the way, and then the next half of the season is going to be more faster paced.
I think there will be at least 2 bottle episodes.
I mean, there'll probably still be more, but I mean, it won't be every fucking episode.
No, we're gonna get a really, really drawn out Carol episode, I feel.
Yeah,
and I
most
just
likely.
don't care. Like I know everyone was all like, Carol's so cool. She's killed people and she's killed people.
Carol
and
was
she scared
cool.
children.
But now she's just like, I mean, Carol is awesome when she's rolling with the group. When she's alone, I don't give a shit.
Like, I mean,
Who cares?
I wouldn't care if we don't see Carol for 5 years and then someone goes to check on her and she just withered away and died in that old house. Like, didn't turn to a walker and then they're like, oh shit, Carol was immune? Damn.
But, yeah, there we go. Walking Dead, and we've covered all the bases. Anything else you want to say?
Well, another interesting thing about Walking Dead, which is also from the comics, there are 2 Dr. Carsons.
Yeah.
One is at the hilltop, the one that Maggie went and saw. The other works for Negan, and that's from the comics, and it's very cool, and it'll if you pay attention, you'll notice why that's important, during the war. So,
hell yeah. Well, that's the episode for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. If you stuck around this long, again, give the video a like, a subscribe. Go to dubcast.tv, go to dubslist.com, hit us up on Facebook and all them things. And
if this video gets 50 likes and 10 comments, I will randomly pick one of the 10 commenters to get a $50 gift card to Amazon.
Well,
so there's your challenge. From my money.
If you've made it this far,
But it's got to be 50 likes at least and at least 10 comments. If it's 9 and 49, fuck you.
Fuck you. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Go out and do some cool shit. And hopefully we'll see you again real soon. Watch out for the potholes.